What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Empyrion, Galactic Survival. When we left off in the last episode, I kind of have been obsessed with trying to get this building to look right, and it just is not cooperating with me. The inside's not looking too bad. The outside is it's just not happy. It's just not working. But I did get an interesting idea, though. Well, I shouldn't really say interesting, but more of kind of a reassurance, I suppose, from one of the comments, which was basically like, now you're understanding after 2 episodes of trying to get this to work why most people just build in full blocks. And I kind of am starting to agree, where I may end up tearing down most of this and just trying to redo it with full blocks and then doing some detail work with other things. So I don't know, like some of the floor here maybe we'll leave. I'm not sure, because again, that still keeps me from being able to put anything where I need it, whereas if I just made this full blocks, I could place on the bottom and the top. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking we're probably just going to end up not necessarily starting over completely, but just kind of redoing everything in full block form. I am going to need some multi-tool ammo, though. Oh no! Wait a minute. I was gonna say, I was like, hold on! I have fuel packs. Let's make that 2. Alright, so I think that's what I'm gonna work on for a little bit, and then I will probably do little cuts and transitions here and there, and just do some little progress updates along the way. Okay, so as you can see, things are slightly different, just a smidge. I'm actually going to have to move this. That's going to be a curve. Let's put it over here. I don't really know where I'm putting some of this stuff. We're just going to put it like that, I think. That'll work. Actually, for this part, let's go ahead and fix this as well. Something like this. This has been so much easier, I concur with the assessment. And I'm using my drone a lot more. That's a thing. If you're having trouble with building, drones are good things. So we're just going to do that there, and then put a corner right there. Set that back to full for now. So yeah, inside doesn't look too different in terms of spacing, but it is actually different. So, as you can see, we'll get a better view, bird's eye view up here. I've kind of brought this out to where the wall actually was, and then I've added these curves. I apologize if it's a little hazy and you can't really see it that well, but it is dark. So I've kind of added the curved wall look there. And I started working on this part, but I just hadn't quite gotten into it yet, and I'm not really sure if this design at all is going to stay. So what I've kind of been doing, I've been working from the top down because I've learned my lessons with structural integrity that if you don't, everything just kind of falls apart on you. And let's actually turn that back on. I don't fully understand it, I will admit that. Like, I understand the basic premise of structural integrity, but the way the game processes it is a little odd to me. Like how you have this block in the center, which I don't think is supported by anything, yet it's white, or a light color, which is usually the, you know, that's the strong points kind of thing. And then some of these are like right next to it and they're darker, and I'm like, why are those so much weaker than that one right there? So there's some things about it I don't quite get how the game thinks, but for the most part it works. But definitely a good idea to work from the top down, though, and take out your darker ones first, usually. Oh, that's a full block. Oh well. I'm kind of taking out things that I'm not really sure about at this point, either, in terms of I don't know if they're going to stay that way or if I'm going to change the structure at all. I might raise this up or something. We'll take the motion sensor. Yeah, the motion sensor apparently adds structure to it. That's weird. The one thing I'm not a fan of, it makes sense in a way, but I don't really like it, is that if you break something that is holding, or that loses its integrity entirely and it falls, you can't pick it back up. And I kind of don't like that, because even if I took this out from under and it fell and cracked, I could still get the concrete off of it. Not that concrete is super expensive or anything like that, but still, it's kind of one of those like, hey, I wanted that. I'm trying to preserve the original idea, though. Like, keep the original layout that we had going. These, I think, are full. Yeah, those are all full blocks. One quick way I've learned to tell is that walls have 300 durability, and the regular blocks have 6. So if you see 3, that's not a... that's not a full block. That's kind of my basic way of figuring things out. Okay, I don't need this on anymore, it's just getting in my way. Ooh. Oh, good, I didn't hit the fridge. Whew. I wasn't sure. Alright. So what's almost done? I think that's most everything. I think everything else here... Wood blocks are 100, so I think everything else here is full. I don't think I built any half slab, or like slab blocks in there, or wall blocks. That's a corner? Okay. So I missed that one. Okay. We're going minimal. We're going minimalist design here. We just have some windows and doors, no walls. And I also took down the walkway and the upper floor and everything just because I wasn't sure where all of it's gonna go yet. So let's just work on that a little bit real quick here. So this is kind of continuing the wall, and there are a few spots where I may go back and add detail like curves or angle blocks or something like that, but for now, like right here, I may leave that and do a curve. I'm not really sure. This I'm going to leave open, because that's going to end up being the window. So like I said, kind of like this, I'm just kind of placing things, and then if I end up wanting to go back and change them later, I can. The only part... Actually, I might do this one right now, since it's already done. The only part that's a little bit of a bad thing when you're working with that... I also don't know what this round corner long does, because to me it looks the same. Like, it's really not doing anything different. It's still a one block thing. I don't know. Anyways, the one thing that I'm a little concerned about is if I go back and try and change anything later, is I'm concerned the integrity will become an issue. That, like, if you want to take this bottom one out, that everything else collapses or something. I know it's not quite as strict as, like, medieval engineers in that regard, but it is kind of a thing. Now this part, do I have a corner meetup thing? I should. What the? Oh! Huh! Hi, I need to eat things. Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. I was messing around with this area up here. I ended up adding a corner, or a base corner. I may move the window... maybe like to over here. Actually, that would work pretty good now that I'm looking at it, and it would match. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay. So that's cool. Leave that where it is. I don't know if this is this on the inside? Yeah, that's on the inside. Okay, so we'll place this like so. I could put it on the outside, I guess. Meh. 6 to 1. Doesn't really matter. I might need to pull this in by 1 then. Which then I'm not really sure if there's a point in having this one over here or not. I'll leave it like that for now, because it's not hurting anything. And we'll place that like that, and then we can do the same shape up here. So that'll work out really well, actually. There we go, and flip it like that. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up, though, that I thought was kind of cool, is up here, I followed this along, and I realized, well, this curves, and this is slanted, so how do we fix that? There's actually a block for that, which Space Engineers needs to take note of. There's some games that should do that. And it's called a curved corner. And if I can get it to show up here, as you can see, it's got a curve edge, but then it has a flat, angular one. There we go. Nope. Stop it. There we go. So it has a curved slope, but it marries into a angle slope. If that makes sense. Curved to angle, or curved to slope. There we go. It's got a curved edge here, and then two slopes. So that's a pretty cool little block, and ultimately going to end up being very useful to me. How exactly, I'm not entirely sure for this area, like how all this is going to meet up together. Don't really know, but it definitely is helping in this spot right here. Now, we kept this a little bit lower before, which I'd like to kind of still do. So let's ignore the curves for the moment and just put another row of... Well... Okay, hold on. If this is actually going to end up being the top, though, then I actually need these to be curved on this edge point. So, we'll curve that. Like so. This is a curve, right? Yeah. Ooh, here we go. This is yet another good example of where this block could come in handy. Let's see if this works. It does. Perfect. So it's kind of the same type of shape, it's just not exactly in the same place, which is fine. And then we'll do regular slope there, and we'll do a corner? Or an inverted corner. Inverted corner, I think. Where did it go? Why can I never find this block? There it is, cut corner. I was looking for invert. Okay. I'm making this up kind of as I go, so I'm not really sure how this is gonna look or work, and I probably should have structural integrity on for this part just to make sure nothing is getting overly strained. Let's put that there, and put that there. I don't know why that's not really, like, better supported type thing. I would have thought that would have fixed things, but it doesn't really appear to fix much of anything. That's a little weak in the middle. I also, like I said, I kind of wish I knew more about what determines the structural integrity and what quantifies as support and what quantifies as being, you know, weight kind of thing. For now, since wood's easy to replace, let's just throw a few wood blocks under here until I get a better idea of how to better stabilize it, type of thing. Now back to this. So I'm a little not necessarily confused, but a little unsure. I guess I could run the same... I guess I could run the same idea, like a cut corner here? Not that I'm into cutting corners or anything. But I don't really have the same shape over here. We might just have to do a straight wall. Is kind of what I'm wondering. Like, or do I corner cut that and then just... I could just do a square wall here and just have the cut corner merge into that? I don't like that there's just this overhang. I mean, I could do a little awning here or something, but... don't know. I don't know about that. I don't like it. Okay, so I've changed some things around here, but I've run into a bit of a problem again. I moved this wall in a little bit so that I could raise it. Well, not really raise it, but basically so that I could bring this out and kind of try and mirror this shape. Oh, that's what I did. Oh, I didn't look at this left side over here. I forgot that I put a curve there so that I could keep the curve going. Interesting. That's very interesting. That might actually end up working a little bit better. But the problem I ran into actually was up here. This is actually the main issue that I had. I'm just going to set myself down here. So the problem I ran into is this part, that this has a curve, and then this does not. And so if I change this out, then I end up putting a couple of curved edges here, but then this is no longer viable, kind of thing. So I'm kind of just working on trying to figure out how to get these to match up together, though I did forget about this. And that's something I may need to factor back in, but that doesn't really help me up here, to be honest. It fixes this part to where it's a little bit more uniform, but it doesn't really fix this up here. So I think I just need to play around with some of the other blocks, maybe a ramp or something, and see if I can't like extend this out a little. I'm not really sure what to do with it. This part, well, let's see. What's my integrity at the moment? So for this part, if we brought this over, I'm thinking this is going to turn into a bit more of a typical turn, I think. What I mean by that... Oh, right. I can't do that either. Well, I can, but I don't want to. Pooh. Alright, so I might not be able to do what I want to do here. This may not actually match up, so let me take a minute to do some replanning. Okay, so this is what we ended up with. I don't have the motion sensor in at the moment, so the lights are just kind of on for what I have. It's a lot more cramped, though, and that really has to do with both structural integrity and just kind of finagling to make everything kind of work. Like, some of it's not necessary. I could have probably taken out some of these bottom ones and stuff like that, but, yeah, you know, it just was one of those I didn't want everything falling on top of me. So we've got this down here, which I'm not too thrilled with some of the jagged edge interior type stuff. I mean, we can always fix that with some corners and, you know, inside blocks like this to keep it kind of smooth and stuff. By that, I meant this. You know, you can do these kinds of things and stuff to make it more streamlined. But we go up here. This is our walkway now to our upper floor. Now, this is kind of the exterior, and it's a little bit hard to see at night, so I apologize for that. Actually, it isn't really that easy to see with the... So, I kind of did... It's very jury-rigged. It's very not all that great. I did find, though, this is a cool little block right here. It is this one, the round cut corner. It basically serves the same purpose as the round slope edge, but as you can see, it doesn't have the curve at the top, so it makes a more a smooth corner for like roofing and stuff like that. Then it got weird. It gets weird at this point because dagnabbit. So floaty. I wish the drone was a little bit easier to see. It's kind of hazy, actually. But you can see this edge right here. I did one of those corner circle, half circle edges, which then meant I had to bring the circle back, or the edge back around to a way that it could go back to curves. It was curves and slopes do not go well together, I'm learning. They don't play nice. And so then it just kind of continues around the outer edge as a slope. Until you get here, which apparently I forgot to fix. Because that's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be a corner like that. Well, that's a problem. So that's supposed to be a corner. That's supposed to be a corner. Well, how am I going to do this, I wonder? So, I guess my only real option... Oh, I could do this guy and flip it a certain way. Maybe? Wait. This is not the way it's supposed to look. I need it to go... that way? Man, I can't really see. It's all blue. I can't really see where the edges are that I'm looking for. Hold on. So I need that edge to go over there, and that edge to go down. Why does it keep flipping that way? There. I need it to look like that. Good grief. Actually, I totally did not even realize I could do that. So I may have to revisit one of the other areas that I was doing stuff on. I don't know why I always have such a hard time flipping things, but I do. I did not even really think about doing things that way. I wonder if that would have fixed something somewhere else. I don't think it would have. Like, maybe there? No, it probably wouldn't have, because I have to run into a square there. So yeah, the whole... I may end up going back and altering some of these to be more curves instead of slopes, because the slurp, man, I can't talk today. I've mixed words like twice today already. The curves and the slopes together just aren't playing well, and so it's making it very difficult to actually mesh everything. But that still is significantly better on the outside. I did run out of concrete, unfortunately, but it makes it significantly better than it was before in terms of the overall. There's still some work that needs to be done, but overall, everything's kind of sealed. The edges are all together. You know, it works overall. So, you know, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it is actually functioning. Actually, I think the interior now is honestly worse than the exterior at this point. The interior is a bit more... it works, so let's leave it that way. Didn't mean to do that. Whereas the outside looks a bit more on purpose, I guess. Like, it has a bit more of a plan in mind. This, on the other hand, does not. Like, the fact that these windows are here, but then there's no support beam here, it's just kind of blah. And there's like a hole back there, and so it's a lot more cramped and cluttered than it should have been, and it doesn't look nearly as on purpose inside as it. And I had to remove this edge area, so you know, now there's a 3-floor grate instead of the 4 like it was. So it's kind of a mess inside. And you know what? I do not like this here. So what I'm gonna do is actually seal this entirely. I think that looks significantly better. And we're gonna grab, what was that? This one, I think? Oh, there we go. I was like, why can I not flip this? I think I'll put it like that, maybe. That should work. I think that'll work. Yeah, I like that a lot better. That you just have a solid wooden wall. I don't have another light. I was going to say I'll put another light right there, more than likely. This works. This I could probably change, maybe. This could probably be a inverted slope. I imagine something like this would probably look nicer there. And we could play around with this in terms of, I could make this a inverted corner? Or cut corner? I don't think there's an equivalent to this block to this one though, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping. I could do something like that. I don't really like that though, to be quite honest. Corner long. No, that won't work. Alright, we'll just go with a regular block there, I guess. And we wouldn't have to do a slope. I just think it looks a bit more... I don't know, maybe gives you a bit more headroom. Oh, you know what? We could actually put that here. I think. Let's put that there, and then make this a full block. Yeah, I like that better. That works. I think that's what I meant to do. I might have messed that up, actually. And of course the grain's going the wrong way. It just had to do that to bother me. Because now the grain would match everything else. I don't know why it's doing that. This is the weird part to this block, this texture. I don't know if it's on purpose or not. This one is going this way. This one is going that way. I'm not really sure why that is. I wonder if there is a way... No. No. Thank you. Apply to whole... No, not whole block. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. Is it this one? Yeah. Can I rotate the texture, though? Or is that locked to the block itself? It probably is locked. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so that's in the block rotation. Well, that sucks. Nah. Yeah, that's in the block rotation. Dagnabbit. So that's basically doomed to fail. The only other way I could do this is to actually rotate these this way. And I don't know if that will mess anything else up. Actually, that one is that way. Not sure how that happened. I don't think this will mess anything up, really. I thought I had all the grains lined up the same way, but apparently I did not. This one I don't think you'll see anywhere, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Alright, so now from up here all that's the same, so let's check down here, make sure that doesn't mess anything else up. That's fine that it transitions there. All of this is fine. I basically just want to make sure all of it... Okay, so the floor is going one way and the ceiling's another. That's okay, though. As long as all of it's kind of doing the same thing and we don't have any weird disconnects, we should be good. Okay, so I think that's good. That works. Alright, so the upper floor, the stairway, all that looks good. I'm liking that. And I could go up with this another, you know, you could put a block here like that angle one, and you could do, you know... you can do a couple different things. Only thing is, since this is going to do that, where the grain's opposite, it would have to go this way. And then that might mess something up. Maybe not. No, I guess it actually wouldn't if I did that, but it's fine. We don't have to do that. Because that actually minimizes our upper floor space, though it does fill in a block. Eh, let's go for it. Let's see what it looks like. So if I put that here, and then put... Well, actually, we could flip this like that, and then do, I don't know, like a corner... Oh, my. the texture on that is all messed up. I mean, for aligning it with anything, not that it's actually wrong, it's just alignment-wise, that doesn't look good at all. Okay. So, instead, I think we're just going to make these... make it a 4-block pillar. Not really a fan. Not really a fan, to be honest. So let's get rid of that. We're not going to do that, I don't think. And we'll put that back where we left it. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the same spacing or not. And I do think for now I'm just going to throw these in here just so that it's completely sealed and we don't have any weird gaps going on. Plus, it'll also identify a bit more of, like, where I need more concrete. Alright, so it's completely sealed at this point. Nope, it is not. It's completely sealed as I look at this giant hole in the roof. Okay, so at this point, we're good. And we can do things like this. Well, if I can flip it the right way. I never can get that right. You know, you can do something like this in order to make the walls a bit less jagged looking. We might do it in cement or whatever just so that all the walls and everything are uniform, but still, you get the idea. Yes, it cuts down a little bit of space, but, you know, it's gonna happen. We could do something like that here. Actually, I kind of like that look. I don't know what to do... I don't know, maybe we could leave it like that. I don't know that we really need to do anything. I do want to do something here. Just because I don't like that. I definitely don't like that. Well, we might end up moving that generator. I'm not really sure. Because I don't really like this look either. But this leaves the floor uncovered, so that doesn't really serve the purpose I was looking for. And I guess I could just do a full block here. Oh, really? What the... What are you doing? Get out of here. I guess I could do something like that. That is very much cramped at this point, though. I don't like that at all. But you get the idea. We could do something like this to kind of... Yeah, much more smushed in here than it was originally intended. We need to move some stuff around. Maybe that'll be next episode, is kind of reconfiguring some of our areas here. But anyways, at least we got everything kind of overall finished for the most part in terms of everything's boxed in. We just have to replace some of the blocks with some different ones and kind of maneuver some stuff inside, but the outside and stuff I think is done. So on that note, I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.